भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुं स्वस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May it be auspiciousness that we see, that we hear, that we do. May the Master in his varied manifestations be well and keep us well so that we can play our roles in the manner fit. Om. We have gathered for a Gita Satsanga. So Gita Acharya says, Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamashanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate brahma bhuta prasannatma nashochati nakanshati. Ahankaram balam darpam. Ahankaram. Now here this is not only the ahankara, ego, small, not the ego from which everything else, all the problems come. No, this is the ahankara aspect. That is the pride, the external aspect of that. Everything is external only, but the greater, what you call, the negative, nanda abdingra aspect, ahankara. Not the ahandai, not the ahankara, from which everything is actually coming out. Balam, darpam. So all this negative, this pride and this strength, this kama, krodha, parigraha, taking off somebody else's stuff. So all these negative things, vimuchya, you have to get rid of. And how will you get rid of all that? Because you have to become nirmama. Nothing is mine. Mama, mine. Nothing is mine. Nirmama. Then we become shanta. Then we become calm, peaceful, truly peaceful. And then we reach the state of understanding the true nature of Brahman. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Then what happens? Brahma bhuta prasannatma. Then there is a prasanna atma. There is a joyous self revealing itself. Nashochati nakankshati. That will never get sorrow, nor will it want anything. It will not want anything. That state does not desire. That state does not ask for anything different from what it is. All the other states, we are not labha santushta. Yadrichha labha santushta, we are not. Because yadrichha labha santushto dvandva ito vimatsarah tamas siddhava siddhaucha kritva api nanibadhyate. We are not in that state. So the Brahma Bhuta, Prasannatma, Nashochati, does not sorrow at all. He becomes a Nitya Bhuktan. Bhagavan says in his Ulladinarpadu, Baddhananinnu matte Baddhamukti Chintanaigal Baddhan yarendru tannai paarkkum Siddhamai Nitya Bhuktan taan Nikkade Bandha Chintai Mukti Chintai Munnirkumo. Baddhatva bhave sati moksha chinta bandhastu kasya iti vicharanena siddhe swayam swatmani nitya mukte kva bandha chinta kva cha moksha chinta. So long as we think we are bound, we will remain bound. And we realize that there is nothing to bind us, nothing to bind us, bind the true us. And it is just pure love, pure compassion, pure bliss, Ananda, Sat Chidananda, Swarupa. Then, Vabandha Chinta, Vacha Moksha Chinta, then there is no Chinta at all. There is no worry about freedom, independence, or being bound. There is neither a worry about being bound nor freedom, because we are both. Dvandvati, to vimatsara. It is beyond both. So that is true freedom. So it is that state to which we need to raise ourselves. Uddhare Atman Atmanam. Na Atmanam Avasadayet. Do not allow yourself to slip. This Nitya Muktan. Recently, I will wind up in 5 minutes. I'll just share the story. And then we will go back to Vibhuti Yoga in the next class, because I felt it is nice to spend some time in the Gita Satsanga with the Gita Vimarshana on understanding what is true freedom. We bind ourselves by ourselves. So why can't we live free? And He is ever ready to give His compassionate grace. Only we have to let go. Let go and drop everything. Once we do that, there's nothing to stop us. Because He is ready to give it. We are stopping ourselves. This Nitya Muktan, actually, because Siddhamai Nitya Muktan Tan Nirka Nirka Devanda Chintai Mukti Chintai Munnirkumo. I quoted that, right? So Siddhamai Nitya Muktan Tan Nirka. I remembered that we had recently done this latest Rasa Day production. Nitya Muktan. And we explored so many stories of great saints who were in that state of Nitya Mukti. And therefore, how were they? How was their demeanor? How did they exhibit themselves in their lives? How did they live their lives? How were they examples to follow even in a way of life? Manifest life. So I will conclude this session with one story from that production, and which is a very famous story. Of course, many of you may know it, but I will conclude the section with that. It is the story of a great saint from Kerala, Naranath Brandan. See, actually, when we do these stories with these special children, it is every year. I've been doing this for so many years, 30 years. But every time I'm amazed at the way Bhagavan allows us to choose the characters who play these roles. அது டப்புன்னு அமையும். Tadrupama they will become, அப்படியே literally that particular character. பகவான் வேஷம் போட்ட உடனே பகவானே வந்து முன்னாடி நிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். சாய்பாபா வேஷம் போட்ட உடனே அப்படியே சாய்பாபா வந்து நிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். மகாபெரிவா போட்டாக்கா மகாபெரிவா மாதிரி இருக்கும். மகாசன்னிதானம் போட்டாக்கா மகாசன்னிதானம் மாதிரி இருக்கும். And the correct, I don't know how it just so beautiful to see. Amazing to see that. It's just that tadrupa, literally that, sarupyam happens immediately. Because we're all in sarupya only, because we all have money the deham. So we're all in sarupya. But that actual, with the nadai udai bhavane, that manifests itself. So the story being played by the children from Andhra Mahila Sabha. Very beautiful. So this Naranath Brandan is a great saint. What was his kolgai? What was his resolve? What would he do? He would just go walking on the street, he was living in a smashana, literally. He was just there in the smashana. He would go walking on a street, and wherever he would get one urupidi arisi. That's all. That urupidi arisi. In his smashana, he had one little chatti, little bit of water he'll put in that, and little bit, smashana, there's no depth of what do you call variety and tea. So he'll get all that firewood and all that, and then he'll just put little water in that kaipudi arisi, and he will cook it and he will have it. That's all for the day. He's done. So one day when he was going, he didn't get anything. Then he went back to the smashana, and at that time, this Vaikarisi they put literally on the corpse. He picks that up. This is enough for me. He's in a state which nobody can understand. So he picks that up and he starts his daily routine of putting that in that chatti, and he starts clarifying. It's night time, midnight, late night, because he's not got it before that. So towards the night, as he is doing his job, it is the night of when, Mahakali comes and does her Samhara Tandavam in the Smashana. So how I have conceived it and put it is, again, only because Master gives that thought or that idea to us. This ஒரு ஸ்மசானமா போய் இன்னைக்கு இந்த சபால கச்சேரிங்கிற மாதிரி இந்த ஸ்மசானத்துல தான் டான்ஸ் ஆடுறதுக்கு வருவா மகாகாளி. டான்ஸ் ஆடுறதுக்கு வந்திருக்கா. She comes there to dance and she tells her sakhis, all her aspects of her which have come outside. She goes and says, there should be nobody over here, because if there is a human being over here, they can't stand this dance of ours. So they all go and they look around and they say nobody is there. But then Kali herself goes, but me, I am Bhadrakali, she says. So she herself goes in one direction and finds this man sitting over there and doing this, making this rice. So immediately what she does is, she says, oh man, Manidane, you can see me. That itself is funny, because I don't know how you can see me, because you must be having some divine powers. But you cannot be sitting over here and doing all this thing over here, because I'm going to start my Samhara Tandavam and it will finish you off. Nobody can stand it. No human being can stand it. So it will finish you off. So you better get up and go. He says, no. What? I'm doing my work. You do yours. No problem. I'll sit here and I'll finish my cooking. Don't worry. Again, she tells him, no. What is wrong with you? Are you mad? You will not stand this dance. He says, look, I am doing my work. You go do yours. So she goes. She says, okay, I've given you my warning. She goes and she starts her Samhara Tandavam, and it's beautiful. She just takes over the whole universe. And this man has finished cooking by the end of it. And then she comes and she looks at him, and he's still sitting over there and he's doing his work. He can't believe it. So she says, you are a very great soul. You're a great Mahan. So you ask any boon from me. I will give you a boon. So he says, I have nothing to ask. I'm getting whatever I need and I'm fine. I don't want it. So she says, no. I have told you I have to ask for a boon. You have to ask. You don't have a choice. You have to ask. He says, what is this? This tolle is becoming too much. I'm telling you I don't want. No, you have to ask. Okay, then do one thing, he says. This one leg of mine has had elephantiasis for a very long time. It's been suffering for a long time. Why don't you just pick that elephantiasis and put it off into the other leg? See, look at the greatness of this Atma Jnani. He doesn't say, why don't you cure it? Why don't you get rid of it? He says, why don't you take and put it on the other leg? This leg has been standing here for a long time. No interference at all in Daiva Chittam. Doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to ask for a boon. He says, I won't ask. He doesn't want to interfere in that. He says, just take this up and put it over here. Because the suffering has to continue. Physical suffering has to be there. Part of my life means you just put it off. It's amazing. This kind of a state of completeness amazes us. We can go on listening to Gitacharya's Vibhuti in the form of the Vibhuti of the great masters who have adorned this earth and have shown us the path. Effort is he. He has to, he is the effort, there's no doubt about it. Yet, with surrender, let us pray to him to allow us to play our roles in the manner fit, like we begin every Gita Satsanga, because this is the Jnana Shloka, the opening shloka of Kaivalya Upanishad, which is what was our starting point and shall continue to be. So, surrendering to his feet, praying to him to absorb us into the state of true freedom. Let us conclude this Satsanga. It is his Vibhuti all the way. We are still discussing his Vibhuti Yoga only. We will continue discussing his Vibhuti Yoga in the next class as well. And then proceed to the 11th chapter, which is the Vishwarupa Darshana.